You said like you are interested in singing and you didn't get an opportunity. So I'm giving you this platform. People would love to hear you. So would you
No,
like to?
I don't.
So it can be challenging. So how do you manage a healthy work-life balance? You work at Microsoft. A lot of people dream of working at Microsoft, right? So that some people who aspire to join Microsoft, or will robots will take over the world? What do you think? Hey guys, welcome back to another exciting episode of RPA Feeds podcast. And today I have with me Raj. Raj is an expert in automation and software development. Raj has wealth of experience in building impactful solutions and driving efficiency into business. He is currently associated with Microsoft. He's working as a digital transformation strategist over there. And I think we have a lot to cover. We will be talking upon Power Automate. We'll be talking about RPA automation, Agentic, all that trends that are going on in the industry around RPA automation and AI. So without further ado, I'll just hand it over to Raj. Welcome, Raj. Excited to have you on this podcast. Could you please introduce yourself to our audience?
Hey, hi, Deep. Thank you for firstly giving me this opportunity, and thank you for having me here. I'm Raj, technical specialist, which we call it as a digital transformation strategist, especially for the industries where we are moving from the era of digital transformation. So my role is moving industries from the on-prem era to a cloud era. I play a key role there, working with Microsoft since long 5 years, and before that I was with Softwaremotive.
Super. Excited to have you, and I think audience would be benefited from this discussion, and it would definitely a value add. So would you like to describe like what was your journey, how you started into this field, and how you end up joining Microsoft, and what was your background? Where are you from?
Yeah, sure. So I started my career as a .NET developer. I was a core .NET developer for the first 3 years of my career. I used to code a lot, and at that time, there are only two booming technologies like blockchain and RPA. So, however, data science was very new at that time. So when I went to start learning about the blockchain versus RPA, I found that RPA might have a bright future because of the word robotic, because I'm an electronics engineer. So then I have taken the course, and then I could do multiple courses on the tools which we are having right now, like UiPath, Automation Anywhere. Blue Prism was there at that time, but very limited people who gives us a training at that time. So I did all the certifications on UiPath and Automation Anywhere. That's how I started my RPA journey, and in my current organization at that time. So I used to think, so how we can convert some of my manual tasks into automation. So that's where that trigger started. And then, so we joined Softwaremotive as an technical lead for working with automations. Means Softwaremotive has also at the time, so we have a automation products like Win Automation and Process Robot. So I worked there for almost 3-4 years, and I did multiple roles in that. So my role is like a developer. So I used to work like a trainer. I used to work like a professional services engineer, and I used to work like an R&D engineer, because UiPath automation was very new in India as well.
Sorry to cut you, but this was around
2017 and 2018. So
it was picking up. Automation was picking up.
There are very less few companies who knows what is RPA at the time. So then I have taken a challenge from my existing manager. So why can't you take a role of a pre-sales engineer? So where we need to step above how to do the technical business work. So that's where my journey started. So later on, so the acquisition of Softwaremotive has been done by Microsoft. So back to 2020. And so from then, so I was a technical specialist in Microsoft. So working with the customers and working with our partners, enabling them. So what are the capabilities of RPA? Now Power Automate. So whatever the tools which we are seeing right now, so is an acquired product from Softwaremotive.
Yeah.
So that's where my journey continues, and I'm doing good at this point.
Super. Where are you from, and what you did in your academics?
Okay, I'm from Andhra Pradesh, Kurnool, so which is in between Bangalore and Hyderabad. I did my electronics and engineering, so in BITS College. So
okay, super. And then you joined Softwaremotive directly?
I worked for a small firm in Hyderabad for 3-4 years as an .NET developer. So then I joined Softwaremotive, and from then I'm currently with Microsoft.
Super. Thanks. Recently, I had attended M365 event from Microsoft. There were MVPs who presented different sessions around Microsoft suite of products like AI, their Copilots, Azure AI, and various other Power Platform related stuff. So could you please share the recent trends in Power Platform?
The technology is evolving like anything. So if you look at, so there are many fancy names came into picture these days. So if you look at Power Platform as an holistic, right? So previously, so if you ask me the same question last year this time, so I could say so it's a platform. So who serves the hyper automation? So now it is more than hyper automation. So what we have as of today. So firstly, it's an AI-led platform which we are having, and so the innovation is happening rapidly. So now you take, so Power Platform is integrated with Copilot, so which is more helpful for any kind of persona. So whether it's a developer or whether it's a low code engineer or any kind of pro code engineer, they are very easy to adapt to this technology here. So the adaptation rate from any persona is happening very rapidly because of this AI coming into the picture. And if you look at the recent days, and now the era has been changed. English is a new coding language, so which we are having as of today. So we have went ahead beyond that technology, and we also have the AI recorder, so which you just need to voice over. So your business process, it converts it into an meaningful. So what else we need as in transformation, right? With the integration of the OpenAI along with the Power Platform which we are having, so it is giving the tremendous results to the business.
Okay, so I was hearing a lot of co-pilots, like most of the low-code platforms and other vendors, not only Microsoft, Copilot for everything now, right? Like you have a Copilot for Power Platform, you have a Copilot for Excel, Word, Outlook, and then there's a Copilot Studio for developers. Audience might get confused who are hearing it for the first time, or maybe they are not deep into Microsoft ecosystem, so they might find it difficult to identify what is the difference and when to use what. So could you please just share your thoughts specifying the difference when to use general Copilot and when Copilot Studio?
It's a very good question and interesting question, by the way, because so this is very common question. So most of our customers or partners are having as of today. As I said earlier, so due to the rapid increase in the technology, so after the integration, so with the OpenAI, with most of every individual products of Microsoft. So what happened is that, so this word Copilot has become very fancy. What I generally used to tell to customers to unblock their confusion is that, so M365 Copilot is nothing but a new added technology to your current Office products which you are using. So let's say currently on your day-to-day basis, you are using Excel, OneDrive, Teams, SharePoint. So like this, there's some set of products within the M365 portfolio. So this Copilot will help you, every individual, to work in a very diligent way with the help of the Copilot feature. So it's mostly for the individuals who need to, who works as an helping hand. So while you are working in your day-to-day basis.
Basically, productivity booster or enhancer.
Productivity booster, yes. Productivity booster, productivity enhancer. So in a day-to-day process. So this is mostly on the personal usage within the enterprise. But when you are looking at an enterprise solution, so this is where we'll create any kind of applications and automations and the bots and any kind of the web portals, and at the same time any kind of dashboards. So this is where Power Platform Copilot comes into picture. So where with the help of the Power Platform Copilot, it is enabling us to create an applications in a more matured and low code way. So earlier, before Copilot, what you used to do is that, so you used to know the business use case, and then you need to have a BA in place, and where he will tell us, okay, so this is the screens which you need to build, and so there is a set of a business process which is there. But with the Copilot, so if I'm a business user, so I know my requirement, so I need to create let's say vendor management application or a visitor management application. So with the help of Copilot, so I'll just go ahead and prompt that. So I need to create this app. So it will give a beautiful user interface in front of you. So without you investing a time in UI. So these kind of activities can be done with the Copilot, especially. So while creating an apps, while creating the flows, or while creating the pages, or while creating the dashboards. And interestingly, when it comes to the Copilot Studio, which is predominantly helps us to create an intelligent chatbots. So intelligent chatbots will comes into picture. So chatbots has become a UI for any kind of AI. So whenever you deploy a chatbot into any public website or to an internal organization, typically what it does is that, so instead you go and fetching some information. So with the help of these bots, we can easily interact with the bots and get the information. So the Copilot versions of Power Platform is different from the Copilot Studio. With the Copilot Studio, we can create bots very seamlessly and can be integrated with any kind of applications which we are using on our daily basis.
Superb. So, Raj, thanks for clearing the concepts around different versions of Copilot and different shape and form of Copilot. I think the license cost and everything is also associated how you use it. There's a different structure to it. But if a person, if an individual person who is interested to try out these platforms, can they do that? Is there a community version available or a freemium kind of a license available for to try and test out these features?
So any individual user, so who are within the enterprise, so they can start a free trial for 30 days. So they can test the Copilot versions within the Power Platform. Beyond that, if you wanted to extend the trial, you can extend based on the business scenario. If you look at the adoption rate as of now, so on Power Platform, so it is starting with the trial license because every individual are trying it out, because we are saying that so it's a purely a low code, no code. So everybody can use it. Personally, I have seen many scenarios. Hey Raj, so in multiple forums, you guys are saying that so it's a low code, no code. Is it a really a low code, no code? Right. So then my next challenge is that, so right away, just open any Power Platform tool so you can sign up for a trial. So without any knowledge, you just go and see how easily you can create an app, how easily you can create an automation, or how easily you can create an Copilot Studio bot, right? So it is publicly available, right? So you can just give an knowledge source of the URL of a website, and you can ask any question within that website. So Copilot Studio now is it easily able to pick up that answer and give a response to that. It's purely a low code, no code, and can be used by anyone, and you can try.
Yep. Thanks for sharing those insights. So Raj, the trend shows that currently everybody is building autonomous systems, agentic automation, and there were few terms also coined like agentic process automation, agentic AI, agentic workflows, right? All around agents, AI agents, agentic. So we keep on hearing these terms. What actually does it mean? How the systems would be developed and how developers would be able to leverage these systems to build automations? What's your take on this?
Okay, this is very interesting topic there, because we recently announced an autonomous agents as part of Copilot Studio. So earlier Copilot Studio is a chatbot. So in background we have an workflow automation which is coming with Power Automate. So whenever you wanted to integrate with any of your core systems, so we can write a flow and then we can get the response back to your bot. So interestingly, what we are missing is that end-to-end journey. Whenever we receive an email from the customer, there is some piece of work which we are doing currently, right? We are reading the email content, and then we are taking the attachments of that email content and we are processing it via flow, and then responding back to a customer so that with the relevant information. For this, we have a dedicated teams working for organizations. With this agentic bots, the first level of the customer inquiries, the first level of the customer document processing will be automatically handled with this agentic AI. And very interestingly, we have a video, so you can just go ahead and search in YouTube as well. So we have a very good use case which we have showcased as part of our announcements very recently.
Okay. So I'll mention that link of that video in the description as well. And I also see frameworks like Crew AI. Also recently Microsoft also announced AutoGen for building AI agents, right? So that is all fine. But again, it sounds more of a developer oriented things, right? You need a development skill set to either Python or C# when it comes to Microsoft ecosystem. So how do you see developers like low code developers or RPA developers, how they can upskill themselves, or what would be the roadmap to learn and upskill themselves?
So it's only prompt engineering, I could say, because nothing else you need to understand. So the way you prompt your user requirement. Now, if you take this use case as vendor management, so what are the requirements which we need to have in place to have an agentic bot which does this entire process? So I could say you should learn the prompt engineering, so which is predominantly the English only. The way you prompt, so will be the first step to do that. And beyond that, so here you don't need to write any kind of logics, or here you don't need to write any kind of a coding. So with that, you can easily upskill. So with the proper training.
But then how we are building that agent, like how that agent is supposed to work? I mean, there should be some programming behind it, or you are saying that it will be offered as a part of a platform, as a package solution, maybe in a low code format or a no code format.
It's a pure low code, no code. So the way it happens is that, so you need to configure. So as an email triggers, and whenever we receive the email triggers using the prompt engineering, so it will extract the details from the background, and then it goes and connects with your core systems, and then fetch the data back to it, and then displays it to a user. So if there is a maker checker kind of a concept, so we can cross verify the data before sending it to a customer. And basically what these autonomous agents will be used in a scenarios where you don't require any human input as such, because we have a powerful LLMs which are sitting out there, so to do all this kind of entity extraction and provide the information which is required for that use case.
Superb. So it will be kind of a more using a SaaS platform, configuring few things here and there, and then making it live and productionizing it and then using it.
Yeah.
Superb. Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot for sharing your thoughts on this. So I keep on hearing from Power Platform. So is it only possible to build low code solutions, or can it be customized to a certain extent that we build web applications like we used to build in .NET, right? ASP.NET was the web development framework from Microsoft. So is it extensible enough to leverage Power Automate to that extent to build certain web app that actually does certain business functions?
It's a very good and interesting question, by the way, because we used to hear these kind of queries from the customers. So Raj, we already have Java and .NET. So for application development, so why should we go with Power Platform? So that too you have versions of M365 version of Power Apps versus Power Apps Premium. So right, so you are individually charging for everything. So my only one question is that, so if you are having a old car, and why do you want to switch to a new car? So because you want that luxury, or you want that kind of a pickup, or you want that kind of a music system. So you want to give that status to a family, right? So there are multiple things which are associated. So in the same way, so I'm not saying that, so a problem which you can resolve with the can be easily resolved with Power Platform, right? Creating an applications or integration with the database or integration with the workflow automation. So which you can do it very seamlessly. And while we are saying it's a low code, no code, it's not ending there. It's a starting point. So if you wanted to be a pro developer, or if you are a pro developer, and if you wanted to extend your low code skills along with your pro code skills, so it's a magic, right? So you can integrate with any of our Azure services into it, and any integration, so which you can easily do with the combination of it. So net, so what I'm trying to say is that, so any application which you are currently building with .NET and Java, so just try it out with Power Apps and see the magic.
Super. People should have tried also, and I would say it's a rapid application. It's mostly used for rapid application development, right? In Java and .NET, you have to build a few things, and you have to take care of all those software development guidelines, and only pro developers or only developers can use it, not citizen development model, or the people who are tagged as a business developers or a citizen developers, they cannot use those tools. So yeah.
Three major points, right, which you need to consider. One, it's a low code, no code. Second, the time taken to build these applications versus .NET and Java, and the skills. So currently, if you wanted to find any developer who understands Java and .NET, so it has become a challenge for the organizations. Whereas with the limited knowledge of a low code, no code, so where you can bring the UI and they're associated with the powerful data. So it's a combination of the low code and the pro code which we can make. So data, you can just go ahead with our data lake, and UI you can build, you can get Power Apps into it.
Yep, that's true. That's true. Moving on to the next question, since you have knowledge of Automation Anywhere, you did some certifications on Automation Anywhere's platform, UiPath, and Power Automate, obviously. So what are your views on these three, and even Blue Prism counted? So all these major RPA platforms out there.
Yeah, it's a very tough question, because I work with every tool, but my personal opinion, right? So every individual tool has every individual stick. But if you look at a holistic way, the RPA companies, especially currently which are there in the market, are also moving towards the hyper automation, the phases of RPA and intelligent automation, where you are leveraging the AI plus RPA. So now beyond AI, so we also need to have an end-to-end business process. Whenever we ask that what is hyper automation, my only point to that hyper automation is that, so it's not starting any business process. It's not starting at RPA or ending at RPA. It needs a technologies like process mining and task mining, first to analyze the process, what kind of processes we need to do, and adding AI flavor to it in the process of reading the documents via OCR, sentiment analysis, predictive analysis. And then, so it's a continuation cycle that we need to follow by attaching the multiple tools, right? So now if you look at the Power Platform, so where we started our journey, so with the platform approach. So since beginning, if you look at the entire Power Platform portfolio which you have, so it starts at Power BI, Power Apps and Automate, and Copilot Studio, and Power Pages. Right? So there will be a business process which suits each and every technology. The main or the holistic approach is a platform approach which you need to look at. So and again, so it's my personal opinion, by the way.
True. There would be a USP. That's how I look at it. There would be USP for each and every platform and a product, and they'll try to fit in every other thing, but they'll be strong at few areas and maybe covering up for other areas as well.
Still, there is a misconception to many organizations. So Power Automate is still recognized as a workflow automation tool, which doesn't have capabilities of RPA, which doesn't have capabilities of process mining, which doesn't have capabilities of task mining. But truly, we have all those.
I think the benefit that Microsoft is getting here to promote Power Automate and to build wrappers around Power Automate is that the ecosystem is easily available to build and integrate. Because tomorrow, if Microsoft decides to connect to any system of record, or majorly whatever applications Microsoft has in their suite, so they can easily build a wrapper if not already available, and they can have a backend integration which is not like connecting via a third party or something like that. So that access which Microsoft has, because it's the entire ecosystem is Microsoft, right? Mostly all the business enterprise solutions or enterprise companies, organizations use Microsoft product, a suite of product. And when we talk about process automations, process mining, and software automation, so it's all around those tools. Hardly we go beyond these tools, right? So that's what I think it's working well for Power Automate and Power Platform as well.
Yeah. So I could highlight 5 major pointers here as well. To start with, it's an AI first workflow automation tool with all the capabilities. Second is on the adaptability. And third is on the integrations which you are having. It might be the 1500 plus connectors which are there. For that matter, if you wanted to connect with M365 or if you wanted to connect with any kind of Azure sources, it's very seamless integration. Third is majorly on the adoption rate, which anybody can start learning it. Fifth is which will keep it at loss, which is basically the cost. Cost is very competitive compared to the competition.
True. And when we talk about so much features, specifically into when we talk about RPA, right, and automation, Power Automate is the product which is featured from Microsoft. So with so much features and it's available as part of Power Platform suite. It integrates with Power BI, Power Pages, Power Apps, the entire ecosystem, not only just in RPA tool. With so much capabilities, my question is why there is not so much adoption?
It's a very good point. My personal opinion to this question is that so it's lack of awareness, because many people will look at Power Automate as an only workflow automation. So however, it has more and more capabilities. And so we are offering Power Automate as part of our M365 ecosystem. So typically many users might already use it and they might not aware, or there is no kind of a usage. So which they could see as a potential at this point. So I think this awareness needs to be there, in my opinion.
Yeah, and what I have observed is, like, compared to last year when I tried few things in Power Automate and today when I see Power Automate, specifically the desktop version of it, it has evolved a lot. So I think Microsoft is heavily working into it, and they've taken feedback also seriously from the community members and everybody, and they're trying to integrate and bring in a lot of features into the platform. And yeah, I can see a lot of talks, meetups, webinars, sessions. So I see things are moving, and I think it's only for a good. So we will definitely see a increase in adoption.
Yeah, I totally agree to it, because this is where we are aggressively working on this kind of campaign, so that people should get awareness about these tools and the capabilities.
Awesome. So it's time to move on to rapid fire section, where I'll be asking you 4 or 5 questions and you have to answer within 5 to 10 seconds. Okay. So early bird or night owl? Okay. You have been working into this Power Platform and Power Automate, all this stuff. But what's your favorite programming language when it comes to coding?
I think it's a C# and .NET, because still I feel that I'm a developer to the core and by my hand.
Super. Good choice. I think that's one of my favorite as well, along with Python now. Will robots take over the world? What do you think?
I think it's a myth, because there are humans sitting there to program the robots. So even for that matter, the AI, so currently whatever we are having right now, so is managed and bound to work with the human intelligence. But it might be a fancy word that robots can take over, but I don't think so. It will take over.
Maybe a fictional work for a movie.
Yes.
Awesome. Super. So, what's your favorite book that you have? I mean, are you an avid reader, first of all?
I'm not a frequent reader, but these days I'm just started reading some of the books, and I have started one of the book like 0 to 1. So which is
that's really a good one.
Yeah, so I started reading it, so which I found it's very interesting.
Yeah, that's a good book. I have read it. Your dream travel destination?
Maybe Greece.
Okay, good. I'll not put you on spot by asking to choose between Power Platform and any other RPA platform. So that's it about rapid fire questions. Thanks for answering them. Let's move on to the next questions. You work at Microsoft. A lot of people dream of working at Microsoft, right? So can you describe your role? I mean, so what a day in life at Microsoft looks like, and along with that, maybe you can a little bit explain about your roles and responsibilities that you do, so that some people who aspire to join Microsoft, or who aspire to join any such organization, maybe get benefit out of.
So my day in day out life is mostly to work with the customers, because we are a customer facing people. So daily it's a new journey with the customer. So we used to interact with the customers to discuss on our latest features and functionalities and how it is going to suit their business. So as I said, so within my name, so Digital Transformation Strategist. So whenever any organization comes up with any kind of a business problem, I used to be in a situation where I used to give a good strategy for them. And so it's not only to the customers and also with our partners. Microsoft is a partner-driven company. Basically, we used to closely work with the partners, as we are a product and our partners are our arms. So whenever such kind of discussions are happening with customers, so we generally work with the partners to make that into a line. So customer has a problem and Microsoft has a solution. So my day in day out so will be in that place. So where I used to closely work with them and resolve their technical queries or anything on technical discussions or architecture discussions to give them that confidence. And so my only suggestion, if somebody wanted to join Microsoft, is that so we have an active career portal which is available, and so you can choose the technology which you like. So either it might be AI, or it might be a Copilot, or it might be Azure, or it might be a Power Platform. So you can apply through a career portal, because there are a lot of advancements which are happening in day in day out.
Okay, and someone working at a top-notch company like Microsoft, it's very demanding, right? And eventually, tech is also a demanding industry in itself. But then working for Microsoft or a large corp, so it can be challenging. So how do you manage a healthy work-life balance?
See, one only formula so which I honestly trust is that so work-life balance is in our mind. If you wanted to work, so what is meant by work, right? So at the end of the day, either you need to get satisfied, or you need to satisfy your organization needs. If you really understand my happiness, or whatever I'm working is for my knowledge, so I feel that we can easily manage work-life balance.
Yeah, I mean, if it excites you, then the work is not work, basically. Like people used to say, right? You can choose your passion, then work is no longer a work for you. Okay. Are you passionate about anything else apart from your work?
So I love acting, but I never tried. And I love singing, but I never a stage performer for singing. So in my childhood days, I used to participate in many of the cultural activities, and I have that passion to be on a screen.
I'm giving you the opportunity. Want to try?
At this point, I just wanted to try that, but maybe some other time.
Okay. You have now close to 10 years of experience, right? Any advice would you like to give to young professionals who are interested in pursuing their career into similar to yours, or into automation and AI field?
So I think this year, so whoever are passing out from as a graduates, so they have a golden era. Because I'm telling you the reason, because whenever we passed out, so there is no very big IT change happened. So we found, or we struggled a lot in finding a jobs. But here, so you have a big advancement in front of you, so which is the prompt engineering and the AI field, which can be picked up very fast. So my suggestion to the engineers are basically that pick up on the AI. and work towards it. So I'm telling you, this is gonna be there for next 10 years for sure. So if you really wanted to work in IT, so you need to pick up the AI first. This is gonna be there for the next 10 to 15 years for sure.
Yeah, that's true. We see a lot of updates. We need to catch up on a lot of things. Apart from our work, we also need to keep updating ourselves. So how do you manage that upskilling part of it? Like how you stay updated with the ever evolving tech space?
See, for me, so the updating isn't never ending. So whatever the advancements which we are having currently, so I will set up some time every month to update myself on the technologies, and I will get updates on a daily basis from the customers. So Raj, we have seen this as an latest update. So do you have any thoughts around it? So it's a challenge which we get basically from the customers, which will make us to learn and shine. So that's my motto as well. So I love challenges, but at the same time, so if it is related to technology and the current features which we are having, so I would like to take the challenge and I would like to learn myself, and then I would like to showcase what we can achieve with that.
Super. And in this industry, right, you cannot stop learning. If you stop learning, you are downgrading yourself.
So, and there was a saying, right? So earlier days, at least for every 5 years, you need to learn a new technology. And that's what I heard when I'm in schooling days or when I'm in my engineering days. But whenever I joined my role, so at least for every 3 years, you need to adopt a new technology. But now in 2024 or maybe in 2025, so every day you need to learn a new thing to update into the technology. So it's a never ending.
And we are seeing that live. It's really tough to keep on top of everything. But yeah, we have to try that out, because this is new thing and we cannot lag behind in catching up with these things.
AI is the new language that everybody should adapt.
In your experience, is there any fun fact or interesting experience related to technology or even a customer that you would like to share with our listeners?
Yeah, I think so. One of the best things with the technology is that in a current world to take the challenge. So recently I had an experience with one of the customers, so where I am talking about on the technology that what we can do with Copilot Studio on what it can do for the organizations. So then the challenge which I have received from the customer is it that simple? Because if you go via the AI or ML route or a pro developer route, so whatever you are saying that we can achieve, so will easily take 10 to 15 days. Then I said, so can I show it to you in next 10 minutes? So then he said, I'm interested to see that, and I would like to see your confidence in it. So then I have taken it as a challenge, and I have showcased back that so what we can do with Copilot Studio as a bot. It's very important that we take challenges with the technology because we know it and what it can do. Because it might not end up to a situation where every time we will win that, but so that's one of the best challenge which I have received very recently with one of our customers.
Superb. Thanks for sharing your thoughts and providing insights. It was fun having a conversation with you, and thanks for accepting my invite and coming up for this podcast discussion. I think you enjoyed it, and maybe I would like to know your thoughts, your experience of coming to this podcast and having this conversation.
Thank you very much, Deep, for this podcast, and it was very interesting, and you had a very good questions, and which I would like to. I hope so. I have answered all of your queries.
Yep.
And I'm feeling very grateful to be part of your podcast. I have seen your earlier podcast as well with many people, so I would like to interact with you more and more in near future with the latest updates.
Sure, definitely, we'll keep in touch. And thanks once again for your time. Wish you all the best and have a great day ahead. Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.